A few of your favorite WB game studios might be up for sale. And the question is, who's going to buy them? So I don't know if you've been following this story, but go back to July 2020, and maybe you remember that AT&T was looking to sell WBIE, the company that makes games like, here are a few of the studios, like NetherRealm's there, Rocksteady's there, WB Montreal's there. So that means like Batman or DC-based games like Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights. That means NetherRealm. That means Mortal Kombat. That means Injustice, Shadow of Mordor, the Harry Potter games, the Lego games. All that's sort of tied and wrapped up with the WBIE umbrella. And there was a rumor that Microsoft was going to potentially purchase this company, and that rumor was as recent as of July 2020. So those are some absolutely stellar titles that would be just an amazing get for whoever's plate they land on. So just sort of going through this story, that was definitely the more interesting aspect. But just a few facts here. This is part of an $85 billion acquisition. And basically what's happening is WarnerMedia is folding into Discovery. Yeah, they're going to be melded together into one. And I believe that part of the deal is, they paid $85 billion for Discovery, and this is a $43 billion deal where WarnerMedia and Discovery are being joined. So this is a lot of money. And for context, Microsoft paid $7.5 billion for Bethesda. So this is like huge, right? The goal is to compete with Disney and Netflix combined. They want to be a powerhouse, basically, and I'm paraphrasing from the IGN article. There are a lot of great games at these companies. There are, like I said, imagine that you could only play a Batman game on one platform. That would be an insane get for any company that was able to get it. And the reason that I keep bringing up the fact about what's going on with the gaming companies is because this is the only quote I've seen. It's Stephen Totwillo quoting Sarah Fisher, who said WB Games is getting broken up somehow due to AT&T's WarnerMedia Discovery sale merger. Some of the gaming arm will stay with AT&T and some will go with the new company. Rep tells Axios' Sarah Fisher, no further info. WBIE has 11 studios, games for all kind of IP devices. And if you just Google WBIE and you look at the LinkedIn page, you can see a lot of the games that they've worked on, like the old Matrix games, of course, Mortal Kombat, Injustice, and they have some key products here. The Fear series, for example, would awesome to get a revitalization. The Arkham games, even the Scribblenauts series, I believe that was Avalanche, if I remember correctly, off the top of my head. But the big ones, WB Games and NetherRealm, in my opinion. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens if these do get spun off to a sub company, and then what ends up happening with exclusivity of those products. So sort of elaborating here, the goal of all of this is to just create more content surrounding DC's IPs. I know Batman and Superman were brought up specifically. So maybe Batman versus Superman. And then, Wonder Woman was the other one. Here's the quote. I suspect that Warner Brothers is going to see an increase in investment. Zaslav brought up Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, as well as all of the other IP that Warner Brothers owns, multiple times in the press conference and subsequent interviews on CNBC and CNN. Well, Discovery has a massive cable presence. It doesn't have a notable film side. This is a new world for Discovery, and one that it sees as crucial to both a streaming and theatrical success. So all of this sort of could be a perfect storm to get some really, really good games out of the deal, right? Yeah, so 11 studios is pretty big. For me, I would love to see the Nemesis system utilized in Shadow of Mordor in a new Batman game, for example. I think that could be really cool, like Batman taking out crime bosses or something, or just seeing those games play together in a new and interesting way. So if we go back to that rumor about when they were originally going to be sold, I'm going to take a look at PC Gamer here and read what they said. In an email to staff a few days ago, WarnerMedia CEO Jason Killer said that Warner Brothers Interactive remains part of the studios and networks group. Only that very small part of the email touches on the fate of WB Games, but Killer went on to announce that Warner Media would be reducing the size of its teams and workforce across the wider company as part of the changes outlined in the email. So this is going to affect a whole bunch of companies. It's definitely a concerning time, to be sure. We don't know why the deal fell through with Microsoft. Maybe they're holding out for more money, or maybe they're going to look to only spin off certain companies at a certain price. Really, I don't know, but it is very clear that somebody is going to get those companies. But what that means for the licenses involved and the IPs that they'll be dealing with, like if you're going to be dealing with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, you would probably still be licensing that from WB Games. Honestly, like whoever ends up picking up those companies, it is an absolute steal. It's a little bit of an interesting story. And I am really curious, did that Xbox deal really fall through, or maybe was it reconfigured in an interesting way? Is Sony talking to them? So like, are some of these properties going to wind up on the Sony platform exclusively? Obviously, games like Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, those are sort of locked as multi-platform right now, so I wouldn't imagine those going anywhere, and any other game that I'm unaware of that hasn't been announced at this time would obviously be locked also. This is more of just a sort of interesting, important story because mega game companies are potentially up for grabs right now, and I'm concerned for the companies themselves. Hopefully, WB sees the tremendous value that they can bring and allow them to continue developing games across platforms. But I would never want to see. NetherRealm is one of my personal favorite companies like ever made. The WB brand is like WB Montreal, and the Rocksteady teams have made some incredible experiences that I don't want to see go anywhere. And yeah, that's the long and the short of it. I just kind of wanted to share the story with you and discuss everything that has been going on there. It's interesting stuff to be sure. Hey, so I usually record these videos late at night, and I just want to say thank you so much. If you like this sort of content, please consider subscribing. I also have memberships turned on. Memberships are a thing that YouTube does. If you want to support that way, you can. Thank you so much to everybody who has supported so far. All right, well, I've had a lot going on today, so I apologize for the lower energy late at night for this one, but a lot of personal stuff going on, a lot of work stuff going on, but I'll see you for the next one. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.